I'm Devorah Wallen, and I'd like to share my Tea for Two, my Torah thought, for 2 minutes more or less. This week is Parshas Shemos, which literally means names. It begins discussing the names of the children of Israel who came to Mitzrayim, Egypt. In Mitzrayim, the Jewish people multiply, and Pharaoh, Paro, enslaves the Jewish people, ordering the midwives to kill all the baby boys at birth. The verse says, "And a new king arose who did not know Joseph." How is this even possible? Yosef saved Egypt and the world from famine with his insightful dream interpretation and brilliant agricultural and fiscal planning. Rashi says, either a new king arose or he just changed his decrees. Now, at risk of death, Yocheved and her husband Amram placed their baby Moshe, in a basket by the river Nile, and Miriam, his big sister, watches to verify that he is safe. Paro's daughter, Batya, takes him, raises him in Pharaoh's house like family. Then we meet Moshe grown up as an adult, where he sees an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. He sees the injustice and kills the Egyptian. Fleeing for his own life, he goes to Midian, saves some damsels in distress, and marries one of Yisro's daughters. God reveals himself to Moshe in the burning bush, and he tells him to ask Pharaoh to let the Jewish people go to serve him. As you probably recall, Paro does not let the Israelites leave, and their suffering grows. At the end of the Parsha, Moshe pleads with God on behalf of their suffering, and God promises him that he will take them out of Egypt soon. According to the Kabbalist, the holy Arizal, Rabbi Yitzchak Lurie of Tzfat, when we were in Egypt, we had sunk to such a low level called Mem Tes, or the 49th level of Tum'ah, impurity. If we were to have descended one level lower to the 50th level, we would not have been redeemable, the devastation of the whole Jewish nation. As it says in our Passover Haggadah, the Holy One, blessed be He, did it in His glory by Himself. Thus it is said, in that night I will pass through the land of Egypt, and I will smite every firstborn. I, God, meaning I and not an angel, and I and not a seraph, and I and not a messenger. It is I and none other. Hashem Himself had to save the Jewish people because of our degraded state. As we know from the Pesach story, He took us out of Egypt b'chipazon, with great haste. This is one of the reasons we eat unleavened bread on Passover, to commemorate that there was no time to allow the bread to rise. Even though we fell so low, somehow we were able to not only eventually bounce back out of our slave mentality, despite our depravity, we were able to eventually attain the level to receive the Holy Torah at Mount Sinai. Hashem not only gave us another chance, trusting our loyalty to Him, He chose us to give us the Holy Torah, His will and wisdom. Apropos here is the Kabbalistic principle, Yerida zu l'tzorach aliyah. This descent is for an ascent of a much greater magnitude. The lower the fall, the greater the potential to rise. This teaches us a great lesson. We should never assume that a person or even a nation that has fallen so low and debased will not be able to return and even excel in a great and prestigious manner. May we all be able to recognize the potential energy that is available to us after a fall.